Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, 4D. Good evening, Viv.
Good evening, 4D. Good evening, Bronze.
It is Thursday, the 30th of October, 2025. Storm the Teacup, episode 38.
Let's go.
Let's go, yes. I was actually going to go into one about Halloween, seeing as it's Halloween tomorrow. About how annoying I find it.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Very, very good. Yeah, I'm into. I'll listen with interest.
Well, the thing was, I thought I better kind of just check, because I thought, I wonder where it originated from, and I went online, and apparently it's originally a British custom. It originates from a British tradition.
Yeah, or Irish. Yeah,
Irish or Scottish. Effectively, it was basically it's because November the 1st is All Hallows Day, which is a day where traditionally they celebrate all the saints and martyrs who have died.
That's right. Yeah,
and so the day before is All Hallows Eve, like Christmas Eve is to Christmas Day, and so All Hallows Eve, All Hallows Evening gets shortened to Halloween, and it's kind of transformed into this thing about just kind of celebrating anything ghoulish for some strange reason. But yeah, it was started but apparently by Scottish and Irish immigrants to America. They're the ones who took it to America, and then America really jumped on it, and it became a really big thing over there. Whereas it never really used to be a big thing in this country. Not when I was a kid, and it seems to have really gained popularity in the last, 10 years or so, to the point where it's all the shops are selling all the crap associated with it. They've got all the promotional stuff in the windows. Get all the a few houses round about with all the Halloween decorations and pumpkins popping up everywhere, and the kids all doing their trick or treating. Yeah, and the thing which annoyed me most about it was the fact that it's completely seems to have completely obliterated Guy Fawkes Night, which was on November 5th, which we always used to celebrate, which to me was much more of a it was actually it celebrated or commemorated at least a historical British event, which was
I was always celebrating that. When did that suddenly go, or did it just phase out then?
Well, it's kind of it's sort of been over taken over by Halloween. It hasn't really gone, but it just seems that Halloween is now the main thing. Everybody seems to celebrate Halloween, and Guy Fawkes Night just seems to have got become forgotten.
Right. Yeah.
And when I was a kid, it used to be a really exciting time. You'd kind of because Guy Fawkes Night obviously was to commemorate Guy Fawkes, the gunpowder plot, the attempt to blow up the Houses of Parliament, which could be seen as quite a noble endeavour these days. And that was in 1605, and they got caught, and obviously, and that was that. But as kids, it's quite traditional to get some old clothes, stuff them with newspaper, stick them in a little cart or trolley, go round asking a penny for the guy, make a little bit of pocket money. Then on 5th November, you'd have a bonfire and some fireworks, and you'd burn the guy on the fire. And
that's right.
And that was kind of a really exciting thing for a kid.
Absolutely loved it.
Yeah. So we always used to set a bonfire in the bottom of our garden, and folks were getting some fireworks, and it was really good fun for a kid. And now it just seems to be all Halloween, which kind of annoys me a bit. But having found out it's actually comes from it was actually exported from Britain. I'm kind of like, okay, well, but we never ever used to celebrate it like it's celebrated now. The whole commercial aspect of it, and just an excuse for kids to eat more refined sugar and chemicals with sweets and candy and this, that, and the other.
Yep. Well said.
I think that's what America seems to do, isn't it? They seem to just commercialize everything. That's what they're very good at doing, I suppose.
Yeah. Well also the origins of it are seem to be a little bit vague, because They say it's meant to come from a Christian. All Hallows Day is a Christian thing, but there are some reports which say it dates back to a Celtic pagan festival as well. So there's a bit of doubt whether it. But I mean, it's quite ironic if it does come from a Christian thing that it's turned into this kind of very unchristian sort of type of celebration.
Yeah. It is as far as people know, apart from the disinfo. It is a Christian festival. It was, you're absolutely quite right. What you're talking about. But I have to say though that sometimes, and there is of course, there's All Saints Day, All Souls Day. So it's a 3-day Christian festival.
That's right. Yeah.
Which has been lost. The turnips were used as lights as the evenings drew in. Not pumpkins. That's American. So pumpkins are an American import, and it's not. It may be vaguely connected with Beltane, I think it's called, which is a pagan festival of fire. But then again, all cultures all around the world have this when the nights draw in and the darkness comes. Think of Diwali in the Hindu tradition. So lights are important to keep the lights burning as the darkness comes in. And it's a folk thing as much as anything. But of course, it is a 3 Christian festival. The other 2 days aren't really considered, except unless you're a member of a congregation, and who knows what the Church of England thinks of that now. Maybe it's a Rainbow Flag Day or something. Who knows what the hell they're up to? But who cares about them? But no, it's a bit of a projection, really, that it was pre-Christian evil demons, etc. The scheme between worlds was thin at this time, and demons could come through. And I really appreciate what you said, actually. I'm very glad you've said all that, especially about bonfire night. And, obviously, people gather around the fires in the evening, but it's a bit like going to a pub. You all sit around the fire and you say, all right, boy, of course, getting dark, isn't it? And, and they say, yeah. Getting dark now. I'll tell you what, have you heard about that ghost story down the road about that? And then everyone tells ghost stories, and it's all very good. But today, Halloween has become a celebration of slaughter.
It's very satanic. That's probably why. If it's probably true that it is Christian in its origin, because that's why they've made it all sort of satanic, because they seem to want to twist everything on its arse. But yeah, it is. It's everything. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, instead of spooky stories and this comforting family and friends and mates gathering in the pub, you got these celebrations of. I mean, I walk by a pub and walking to work, and they've got a upside down, bloodied, dismembered corpse hanging in the pub window, and I'm thinking, hang on, whoa. Halloween is mildly spooky, of course, but this is going on. This is, as I said, it's about slaughter now. American horror films, slasher films, people dressing up as Freddy from Friday the 13th and Jason from, and there's even an American film called Halloween, which is supremely scary, but even so, this is very different, very, very different to when I was growing up. We never really celebrated it, to be honest.
No, we didn't. We didn't celebrate it at all. It wasn't anything. Yeah, it was not part of our culture. And now it seems to have become part of our culture. And that on its own is like, well, okay, maybe. But the gripe I have is the fact that Guy Fawkes Night has been obliterated by it.
Yeah, exactly. But also, it's twisting children's minds. It's exposing them to extreme violence that they shouldn't really be looking at that age. People dressing up in hideous costumes, slaughtered. dressing up as skinned people, and it's not healthy. It's not healthy.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, I think, yeah. It's also the whole thing of trick or treating to me for kids sets a wrong example. It's kind of like you can knock on all these strangers' people's houses and demand treats from them. And if they don't get them, then they can perform a trick. I mean, whatever that might be, throwing eggs at the door or letting down their tires, something. It's like that's not a very good. That's not a very good example to set kids. Oh, if people don't give me stuff I asked for, then I can do something horrible to them.
I think it's an excellent example for kids because it shows what politicians do.
Well, if it was put to that context,
yeah, I know, but you get my point. Yeah.
But I mean, one thing, if you remember the film V for Vendetta, and where he recounts the little rhyme that used to go with Guy Fawkes Night. Remember the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason, and plot. So he kind of gives a nod there to the to Guy Fawkes Night in that film, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
And
they wouldn't want us remembering that, would they? They definitely wouldn't want us celebrating that and remembering what happened on that day.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's commemorated because they got caught. The plotters got caught, didn't they? And they got horrifically. Most of them got horrifically executed, hanged, drawn.
It was hung, drawn, and quartered, wasn't it?
Yeah, which is not a nice way to go. But getting back to All Hallows Day, it was quite an interesting little factoid that I read about that was that the whole thing of commemorating the dead saints and martyrs came from the Roman times when Christians were persecuted, and there were so many of them that the Romans killed that there just weren't enough days in the year, so they all bundled them into one day.
Oh, right, yeah.
But the other thing about Halloween, which is interesting, I don't think this goes on anymore, and it's very troublesome. But in certain towns, particularly in the north of England, and I believe it may be in Scotland as well, Halloween is called Mischief Night. So they'd be badly behaved. It would never be that bad, but recently Mischief Night in some places has become a bit of a riot.
Yeah, don't say.
So yeah.
Well, I don't know. This time of year, it just seems like. I mean, you mentioned Diwali there with the Hindu festival.
Yeah.
And we have just had that here. That has just happened, and it seems like for about over a period of a month, all you hear are just fireworks going off for like several weeks, and you just don't know what they're for. It's like, what are people celebrating? Is this Diwali? Is this Guy Fawkes Night? I mean, you still do hear quite a lot of fireworks going off on the 5th, the 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Oh yeah.
But generally, they just seem to be spread out across several weeks, and it's like, you just don't know what people are celebrating anymore.
Yeah, it'll be Hindu families, I reckon, for Diwali, especially if you're in an area where there's a number of Hindus, and it happens here. But I must say, in this town, I think you may have noticed we drove out. This is a big firework town. There's even a shop called the Firework Shop, which is basically telling you what's going on there. And it's a big town for fireworks.
Mm. Fireworks I find fireworks really boring these days. I don't know, maybe just because I'm getting older. I don't know, but fireworks when I was younger were really exciting. All the bangs and the whizzes and the visual displays, but it just seems like they haven't really moved on very much, and fireworks are pretty much the same old whenever I see them. It's like, oh yeah,
as someone who gets triggered by it every year, so it's worth pointing this out again. There are people out here that hate the fireworks, but they have changed. They've got louder. Yeah. And for me, from now until the 2nd of January, it's just a nightmare because I think you picked up on it. You just never know when they're going to go off. I always say, on the particular day, and I know it's going to happen. It's been years since I've been coping with PTSD, so I'm kind of, I can cope with it, and it's fine. And it doesn't freak me out that much. but mainly when I'm not used to it, and they're big, loud bangs, and they seem to love their fireworks around here. And we have, literally a couple of gardens up, and there's a massive bangs, and it drives me absolutely crazy. Obviously, back in the day, I used to wet myself, or I'd have to get drunk because I'd start having flashbacks. And it's not that bad anymore, but I just hate all the bangs when you're not expecting them at sort of late at night. And also another thing, it's Halloween. The amount of kids, and I know it's happy, and I know they're screaming out of enjoyment and stuff, but I have a real problem with screaming kids. I won't go into it, but something from Bosnia, and it's really tragic for me. And again, I just get so triggered. Tomorrow, what usually happens is I have to turn all my lights off. I'll have one candle on, because I fear that kids, if they know that I'm in, they might knock on my door and do the trick or treat. And I kind of, like a scared kid, I sit here with a candle just thinking, oh, please don't knock on the door, please don't be screaming and triggering me. Do you know, it's really, it's kind of hellish for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not to mention all the animals getting the life freaked out of them as well by the fireworks. There also used to be, I remember there used to be quite strict time limits on letting off fireworks, and it was only that people weren't allowed. It was against the law to set off fireworks after something like 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night, and that seems to have gone out the window. You hear them going off like midnight, even later sometimes.
Oh yeah, 2 a.m. I've heard them. Yep.
Yeah, and nobody seems to give a shit anymore. So,
if I could say about fireworks, I think one of the reasons why fireworks aren't so exciting is they're controlled. Most people now, because you can't set fires in your garden, really, there's a lot of things you can't do. You're not allowed to do. People are told they can't do. I'm wondering whether to just get a bloody bonfire and just put it outside my door or something. No, I'm not outside my door actually, but
bonfires are great. I love a good bonfire.
Oh, I love them. Yeah.
But there's something very captivating about just watching fire.
I love it. But the thing about fireworks was when you bought them, and the last time I went to a traditional firework party was a few years ago now, but I remembered, bloody hell, there's a sense of danger. Like the firework doesn't go off, so is anyone going to go and, relight that one? It's usually the mad uncle who's had a few too many beers. So, I'll do that, yes. Yes, but there was a sense of danger. These homemade fireworks and, not homemade.
Do you remember the adverts for the kid that had blown his hand off using a sparkler? It took me years to want to hold a sparkler when I was a kid. I remember those adverts were like, "Oh my god, they blow your hands off! I don't want one of them, Mum."
Yeah, I know. But I don't think sparklers aren't going to blow your hand off. I don't think, are they? They're just,
Yeah,
I think it was the first-degree burns that the phosphorus.
Yeah.
It was. Right. I just remember it was a big campaign advert about not holding sparklers too long or something.
Yeah.
Well, they used to. They used to have those around November 5th because it was always a big thing. Even the BBC used to have these things called public information films. And, and they used to show things like that. It was like remember the 5th of November, and then it would sort of give you some worrying imagery about somebody who got burnt from being too close to a firework or something.
I'm a massive fan of the public information film from the 70s and 80s and even 90s. A massive fan.
Oh, really?
There's some absolute masterpieces.
The Green Cross Code, man.
Yeah, that was good. I'm thinking more of the ones like The Spirit of Dark and Lonely Water. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
No.
Or the one about don't light a fire on a boat.
Yeah.
The Spirit of the Dark and Lonely Water. That sounds very poetic. Sounds way too poetic for a public information film.
Oh my god, it's pure art. I'll post it. Yeah, it's voiced by Donald Pleasance as well, which makes it even better. Yeah.
As far as the Green Cross Code man went, do you remember the guy who used to play the Green Cross Code?
Yeah.
It was an actor called Dave Prowse, and he was the guy who played Darth Vader. He didn't do the voice, but he was the actual character underneath the mask and everything.
That's right. Yeah.
He's from the West Country, spoke like that. Came from the West Country, like, you know.
I know you did. That's West Country. We welcome thee to Dorset.
Yeah.
And of course, good old Jimmy Savile had some great ones like Clunk Click, Every Trip, and sorry about that.
Yeah. You have to edit that one out, 4D.
No, leave it in. It's satire, you know.
Yes, I know. I was joking.
Yeah.
Every trip, wear your seatbelt, and
back in the day, every trip.
Yeah, back in the days when it wasn't when people could drive without wearing their seatbelts, when it wasn't against the law.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
The Grange Hill one was Just Say No. I was a kid when Grange Hill was, and they were really good at pushing the Just Say No to drugs thing.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I used to post that on before I got kicked off Twitter. I put that up. Just say no to the jab.
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Well, didn't they release a song? They released a song with that, didn't they?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, there is a song. Yeah, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I think that was taken directly from the Nancy Reagan campaign, wasn't it? Because she's the one who came out with that.
Yeah, she did.
Just say no.
Yeah,
so, is it that easy?
Yeah, it is. Do you want an untested and rather unusual vaccine which the manufacturer has no liability for? Just say no.
Yeah. And we did.
Indeed.
Yeah, so Halloween.
Bar humbug to the next festivities out there, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they've messed it all up, and it's all been just it's all just a opportunity, and they put these things. They know what they're doing. They put all the Halloween stuff at kids' face level, and kids are pestering their mum. Their mum goes, "All right," then they buy this plastic shit, and it gets thrown away the next day. What a waste! What a waste! You know, just make parking. Has anyone had Yorkshire parking? That's bonfire night, but it's still at the same time of year. It's a beautiful, moist ginger cake they make up there.
Parking,
do that kind of thing. Yeah, parking. It's lovely. Just do it. Apple bobbing. Do light a hollow out a turnip. You know, or a mangalores or something. I don't know.
Well, apparently it was traditional for them to bake these things called soul cakes.
Oh yes.
I don't know what they were though. But
it's an oat cake. Yeah, I believe a soul cake is an oat cake. There used to be other ones. There's loads of stuff around here, and I don't. It's been thrown out. Maybe because it's a Christian festival. Maybe, maybe that's what it is. And I don't know.
Yeah,
I honestly don't know. But yeah.
Well, it's very telling that nobody really knows about the real origins and what Halloween is really about. I mean, I didn't. I had to go and look it up. So what are the origins of Halloween? Where's that come from? What is it really about? It's like, oh, okay, it's actually originates from a Christian festival. Who knew that? Not very many people know that, I'm sure. Especially not all, everyone's celebrating it these days.
No, exactly.
I'll be honest with you, I'd heard of All Hallows Eve, but I didn't realise it was a British thing, and I didn't realise it was a Christian thing. So yeah, I'd heard of it, and I knew that Halloween came from that, but I hadn't looked into it any more than that.
Yeah, it's the first day of a 3-day festival for All Saints' Day and also Souls' Day. So yeah. But the cakes, the soul cakes, and there's all kinds of foods around that time.
Well, there's always foods attached to these festivals, aren't there? You know, we have hot cross buns at Easter, and we have pancakes on Shrove Tuesday. All you know, I endorse all of those. They're all great. Pancakes, yeah. Hot cross buns, yeah, definitely.
I love a good hot cross bun, yeah.
I love them. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, aren't they just?
Surprised they haven't banned the crosses from, because, you know, they're called hot cross buns because you have a little cross on the top made out of pastry. I'm surprised they haven't banned those yet.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? It's funny you say that because a lot of them now are sold without the crosses on them. I don't know if they
really.
still.
Oh,
yeah.
Goodness sakes.
I think it's. I think it's the Aldi. They do mostly without crosses on them now, and you think, that's not even what they were originally.
No. Yeah.
But I mean, you know, Halloween has Bonfire Night has parking and baked apples and baked potatoes. I mean, you know, I used to love the food on Bonfire Night. You'd put the fire would go up, and you'd stick potatoes in, wouldn't you? And later on, you get them, eat them with butter, and it's gorgeous. You know.
You know, lemonade. I've just come out of the dentist. I can't eat at the moment. You're doing me right. That all sounds lovely.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, put it in a blender.
Yeah,
it's not as good like that, man. It's not as good.
Yeah, just stick it in a blender, mate. But soul cakes, yeah, that's another thing for Halloween. It's an oat cake, basically. I think they used to have a cross on them as well.
All right, yeah,
I believe so. So you know, it's a celebration. We need these things. We need these folk rituals. It's the end of, basically, we're talking about the end of summer, the beginning of winter, and keeping the light going, the light in our lives, the light for our families, a celebration that the year has ended, the harvest has come in, there's plentiful food, we're moving towards Christmas, another celebration of light. So all these things, you know, are massively important, and it's such a bloody shame that they've taken this away and made it a opportunity for Sainsbury's to sell just bollocks. You know, plastic ghost sheets. You get a sheet. Go to the charity shop, get a sheet, cut some holes for eyes, stick around, you know, put it over yourself. Bingo, there you go.
Yeah, it is. All the merchandise is just tat. It is just absolute rubbish. Really, just cheap, throwaway, disposable stuff. Such waste. Think of the poor pumpkins. How many pumpkins have to suffer every Halloween? Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of pumpkins get sacrificed.
I'm actually tearing up a bit here.
I genuinely like pumpkin, the taste of pumpkin, and I didn't know you could eat pumpkin until I joined the army. And then later on in life, I went to New Zealand, and funnily enough, they seem to love pumpkin out there, and that's where I first had roasted pumpkin, and I've been in love with it since.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it is, and pumpkin soup. And pumpkin pie. So to me, the idea of just carving it up and people actually throw the inside away as the rubbish part of it. You know, I want to scream at people and go, "You do realise the inside is the best bit."
I know, you're exactly right. You know, I mean, God, don't people out there, pumpkin lives matter, for goodness sakes.
They're not just for the skin, you know.
yeah, it's not just superficial. You know, come on, they've got soul as well. Well, maybe not, but anyway. So there we go. That was an excellent rant. I think I've run out of. Have we run out yet? Any more to say about?
No, not really. I think that's about it. Yeah.
4D. Have we exhausted the subject?
I think we have. And the only thing I was going to say is it's we don't need Halloween because the horror on the streets at the moment is pretty bad. I think it's reached boiling point, hasn't it? It seems everything we've been talking about for years together a lot of the channels were actually sort of coming out and saying civil war. You had at the beginning of the week, we had hundreds of Muslims in the street bowing and doing their prayer session in the middle of the streets. We've had 3 stabbings in Uxbridge. We've had a rape. It's out of control. I could go on for ages. Actually, it's stupid.
Well,
It's
yeah, I mean, with regards to that Muslim thing, that was what I think. What how that came about, first of all, was because Nick Tenconi, the leader of UKIP, was going to do a march through Whitechapel, which is a massive Muslim area in East London, and the police stopped him. They said, no, you can't do that. And so they had planned to come out, or the Muslims had planned to come out and oppose it, and they came out anyway. And it really was shocking because I've never seen anything like that before.
No,
all of them basically, and even Farage came out and commented on it and said it's like a foreign invasion. And there was one clip, really quite telling, where you had the usual kind of communists sort of showing up and supporting them as well. And one of them was being filmed, and they were walking past. I mean, they're all wearing black, they're all masked up. I'd say, it's a fair assumption to say that many of them were carrying knives and machetes, because we saw some of that in the wake of the Southport riots last year when they came out. And one of them said something, and one of these little sort of pipsqueak woke idiots just went, "Hey, bruv, there's no need for that. We're on the same side." And the Muslim guy immediately just went, "No, we're not." And the guy said, "Yes, we are." And he went, "No, we're not." And I thought, yes, at last. I really hope that guy, a light bulb went off in that guy's head.
Yeah.
And he's starting to realize, oh, okay. Because that was the barefaced truth of it. It's like these idiot socialists are supporting them, and they do not realize they're playing with fire.
The tragedy of Queers for Palestine.
Yeah, I mean, that is just the pinnacle of it, isn't it? There's something about that which was really kind of like, this is really a step beyond now.
As I say, I'm convinced that is what it is. It is a takeover force. It is an army. So it's, from that point of view, it's not shocking to me. It's shocking that they've actually come out and said it the way they did in a few marches, because it was, there was a couple of places where they all sort of turned out. It wasn't just London, I believe. I thought it was several cities.
Oh, okay. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't hear about that, but yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but either way, it was. There was all sorts of chanting. There was all sorts of calls. I've seen, I think it was on 2C TV, I've seen them where they are actually saying we're here to take over. All sorts.
Yeah, well, you're gonna get big mouth saying this. You're gonna. But I do take this point. I do take this point, and I take it quite seriously.
I think I think that's exactly how you need to take it, because I think that really is the bottom line. It was some podcasters basically they showed a clip of them saying, "We're not here to take part, we're here to take over," and all of them like laughing and going, "Yeah, yeah."
Well,
that really is it. That is it. I mean, you might get. I mean, also somebody quoted the guy Erdogan, whatever his name is, from Turkey, and he said about Islam. He said, "Islam is Islam." He said, there are no modifiers. Democracy is a train we take to reach our final destination. And that is it in a nutshell. And you can get all of the people who claim themselves to be moderates and they don't follow all that shit, but they really do, because they don't stand up and speak out against it. They toe the line.
There are Muslim voices, but they're very much marginalised. I mean, Raja Mir he's actually he has to sleep with weapons beside his bed, and he's got police guards.
Yeah, what does that tell you? That says it all.
Yeah,
of course it does.
Yeah.
It's something which I've always, ever since it started happening in this country, going back to, again, it was Tony Blair from 1997. He's the one who started all this. Suddenly there's a huge influx of Muslims into this country around sort of the years after he got into power. And when you know, it was really noticeable for me. I just noticed it straight away, and I thought, this is not good. This is not good. And then we had 9/11. Obviously, then everyone was talking about it, the whole thing about Islam and all this, and of course all the establishment and the media were covering, you know, religion of peace and all of this sort of nonsense. And nothing has ever been done about it. And even back then, I kind of thought something needs to be done about this. But of course, nobody could say anything. And it seems just now, it seems to be acceptable to start asking questions about this.
Yeah, wait till the definition of Islamophobia has come in. You won't be able to say anything. We won't be able to speak to say this.
Well, we never have been. We never have been. In reality.
In a sense, but by treating a religion as a race, then you're in very, very dangerous waters. You know?
It's not even. I mean, even to call it a religion is not really accurate. I don't think.
What would you call it?
It's a political ideology, which uses religion as a kind of, you know, a get out of jail free card to get away with things. You know, it helps them to helps them to avoid any criticism. It also classifies the whole thing as, for the most part, tax exempt. You know, charitable. They get so much public money because asked as a religion. You know, charitable fund, this charitable organisation, this, you know, religion, you know, tax exemption, all of this sort of stuff.
Ooh, that's interesting. So, how do you get taxes? You set up a charity, do you? How do you set up a charity? I'll have to look into this.
You have to start a religion. You have to start a religion. Think up a religion, and you're away.
Yeah, I've got one. Yeah, I've got one already. Yeah, so that's all right. I'll call it. I'll find a name.
Vivianism. There you go.
Yeah, it could be. There's that. I mean, there's a great writer. Probably no one's heard of her anymore, Flannery O'Connor. But one of her stories was called Wise Blood, and it was about a young maniac who set up the Church of Christ without Christ. And there was a film, quite a good film as well, about this. So yeah, you could, okay. A religion, yeah. Charities as well don't have to be religious. It could be something else, couldn't it?
Well, they don't. I mean, L. Ron Hubbard did very well by creating Scientology, didn't he?
Is that a charity? I suppose it must be now.
I don't know, but
it's considered it's considered a religion. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, that's another bloody mad box of frogs, isn't it? That one.
Are either of you aware? I think it was the early 2000s when they tried to make Jedi a legalized religion.
Well, people when they sent out a census, people would put that as their religion, and
I think that's what started it. I think you're right. Yeah. And they actually put it whether it could become a religion. Did it have any religion? And unfortunately, it got kicked out. And so you can't. So all I was going to say on that is you can't just randomly start a religion. There has to be some basis for it to be deemed a religion. I don't know what those rules would be, but I know that another guy in the army signed up to become Jedis, and we were refused quite brashly by our officer in command. But hey, you know, we tried.
There is also the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, which there are Pastafarians who are involved in this.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of like a free thinking, free thought sort of organization, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds fun enough to join to me.
Yeah, the British Pastafarian Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. Oh, it's a real thing, people.
It is. But yeah, I don't know. There were elections in Holland yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Where apparently Geert Wilders, who's the guy who's head of the Freedom Party and kind of the sort of anti-Islam, anti-immigration, anti-EU party, who did quite well last time, actually lost votes to the centrist party. The centrist party kind of did much better in that one, which is a bit concerning.
I thought they were neck and neck, but apparently no.
I think I think those two got the lion's share of the votes, but the centrist party got a few more than the Freedom Party. So, yeah. But because I was just because my Tutsi did a thing on the exit polls last night. I was watching it, and I don't understand the political system in Holland, but he was saying because they have the what's the system of voting? I can't remember the name of it now. Not first past the post, the other one.
Proportional representation.
Yeah, proportional representation. He said because they have that they'll never, they can never really make progress because of that system. Because they always have to make coalitions because nobody ever gets enough votes to win outright, and so you're always going to have coalitions, which is why Geert Wilders called this election in the first place, apparently, because the government was just not being able to do anything. Although he had the majority, they couldn't get anything done. So he called an election, and didn't work out quite as well as he had hoped. I should imagine. And they're just going to be in the same situation. They're just going to be back in the same situation. So,
yeah. And in other news, if we finished on that topic,
yep,
about Holland, it's kicking off like absolute crazy in Tanzania.
Tanzania? What is it? A football match or something?
No, there's an election. There was an election yesterday, I think 29th, and there were riots all around the country, all over the country. There's martial law declared, or certainly curfew. There are people firing guns. It's. I didn't know about this because it's not on the news. You see?
No, I've never heard about that. What was it? Just corruption? Corruption was it, basically?
It's election results. It's about the election. A fella phoned me today, and he's going. I'm in Kenya. And we're going on a trip to Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. I said, "Oh, all right." And he said, "Well, it's kicking off there." And I thought, "Really?" So he's going, am I covered? I don't want to go. And I said, well, yeah. I looked at the Home Office, or rather, the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office. And they're saying basically airports are shut. There are roadblocks and all sorts of stuff going on. But we've not heard about that, have we?
No, we never do. We don't hear about things like that. I mean, also the thing
it's kicked off in Brazil as well, hasn't it?
In fact, it's kicked off in Brazil. I mean, they're really, reported on that either, but just a massive, almost like a little civil war going on in Rio de Janeiro. The police went in against the drug gangs, and the drug gangs fought back, and it was just like a war in Rio de Janeiro. It was incredible.
Yeah. I was going to say it's like a Hollywood film movie kind of thing of drug lords going against the police. It was crazy. Yeah.
Loads of guns as well. But in Tanzania, they're accusing the government of undermining democracy because the opposition leader is in jail. And another opposition leader was chucked off and not allowed in the election. There's apparently, this President Hassan, she's been elected, and people are kicking off, and they don't like it.
So, who was the ruling party? Do you know, before the elections? Was it a kind of a dictatorship, or was it more of a democratic kind of situation? So, obviously, it's not gone the way that people or whoever wanted it to go. So, this has all started happening. So, I'm just kind of wondering what circumstances are.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if the election results have come out yet. I don't know about that.
So this woman who's been elected, is she? What's her stance politically? Do you know?
I don't know. She's Muslim. Her name is someone Hassan. President Hassan. Don't know how it's. I don't quite know. I mean, I don't know a great deal about it, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, not a peep. I haven't heard a peep about that at all. At all.
No, you won't do that. You won't hear very much about the slaughter of Christians in Nigeria. You won't hear much. You won't hear a lot about that, really.
Yeah. Same type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, persecution of political opponents seems to be the, quite a common thing these days. Even in the West, it's happening. It's been happening in the West.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But the summit. This woman, she's going to apparently get another term because opposition candidates were barred from running.
Oh right, okay. So she was already the president or whatever before.
Yeah.
Right.
Her party's never lost an election.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So she sounds like the bad guy in this. Then that's.
Well, yeah, you could say that, but then what does that mean anymore? I don't know.
Yeah.
What does that mean? I don't know.
Well, I mean, if she was the leader before, and the political opponents have been stifled or whatever, and she's got voted back in, it all sounds very, the usual kind of
sounds kind of normal to me. It doesn't sound very different. I mean, it sounds like Britain. You've got the Uni Party, and any other party that tries to get in is demonized.
Yep.
Not necessarily banned yet, okay, but there is a degree there.
Well, I mean, they would probably ban Farage if they could. I'm not saying that he isn't uniparty, but he is a threat to the two-party system that we've lived under for God knows how long.
But I do remember the president of Tanzania during the COVID years. He's called Magufuli. And he was very good with COVID. He tested goats, papayas, vegetables, animals. He tested them all for COVID. They all came up positive.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Didn't he die, or wasn't he assassinated or something? I heard that he.
I think it was a plane crash. I'm not sure.
No.
Oh, hang on. Let me look at this.
Yeah, I did hear that he died a year or so.
He's dead. Yeah.
Yeah. A plane crash, even those are suspicious these days.
Yeah. Let's find out what happened to that fella. I'm just looking at the interwebs here. Please forgive my old fingers. There he is.
No, that's all right.
Oh, yeah. His death was attributed by the government to a long-standing heart issue. Yeah.
Oh, right.
But contrary to leaders elsewhere in the world, Magufuli ordered COVID-19 testing to stop and resisted calls to implement public health measures during the COVID-19 pandemic in Tanzania. And he expressed distrust of American and European developed vaccines. So,
yeah. I wonder. Yeah.
Yeah, and his approach was characterized as COVID-19 denialism. Excellent. Now he sounds all right, because I'm a COVID-19 denialist. So good lad on that respect.
Yeah, it sounds like common sense to me. Tanzania is a strange one. Have you ever met a Tanzanian? I haven't.
I don't think I have. No.
No.
No. I've met lots of Nigerians but a lot of people from African countries. But of course, Africa is characterized in the West as a sort of monolith. It's Africa, isn't it? But it is really, really. The countries are so different, and it's difficult to kind of say that it's one single culture.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. No, it's very, very varied.
Yeah.
Yeah, very troubled as well. They have a lot of troubles there.
Some well-off countries, though. I think Gold Coast is doing all right. Some countries are doing all right. So it's not exactly, entirely a land of despair.
No, I wouldn't say that, but I'd say it's an untapped. I think there's a whole host of wealth in Africa if it could just be all managed properly.
Well, if the governments weren't corrupt, but then which government isn't corrupt? I don't know.
Yeah, and how much Western involvement is there in that as well?
Yeah, exactly.
Shenanigans.
Yeah. So I don't know, but then again, just quickly with this fellow who was talking, I get so interested sometimes in some of these callers. I was saying, "So what are you doing, fella? What's going on?" And he said, "I'm in Kenya. We're supposed to go up Kilimanjaro. We paid a lot of money for it." And I said, "All right." He said, "Is that covered?" And I said, "Civil unrest is not going to be covered. I'm sorry, mate." Which is really bad, but there are ways around this. So he said, and he's quite posh, but not the sort of snobby posh people, not like, "Oh yeah, those nasty, smelly working class people," It wasn't like that. He was just like an adventurer almost. He'd gone out with his missus. And he said, he thanked me for all the information, and I said, "Well, what are you going to do then?" And he said, "We're going to wait till Saturday. If the airport at Kilimanjaro reopens, we're going to fly in." And I thought, whoa. And I said, "Well, keep your stiff upper lip, fella." And he was cracking up. But I thought, yeah, I admire that.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you spent a great deal of money to do something like that, I would suggest, I would probably do the same thing, even if there was an element of danger. It's like, well, yeah, I'd rather take the risk. I'd rather take the risk to do something like that.
Yeah, I admired him really, because he didn't seem at all concerned. He said, "I was going to get he said, "I was thinking of just getting a car and driving over because the airport's closed." And I said, "Well, it's up to you, but," and I read out the report. I said, "There are roadblocks, gunshots, curfews." And he said, "Yeah." So it's amazing what some people do and how scared other people are. He wasn't at all scared. But I get people phoning saying, oh, I went over there and I didn't have a very good time, so I came back. I said, "Well, what do you mean?" "Oh, well, a lot of the people were talking Spanish." And I said, "Well, where were you?" Oh, were you in Spain by some chance?" Oh, yeah, I was, love. I was. You just think, come on, people.
I know. What can you do?
I don't know. just have a bit of compassion, really, I suppose, and think, "Oh, well, blimey."
Rub a couple of brain cells together, and
Yeah, just grow some balls and grow some ovaries, people. Come on.
The problem is brevity. I've always said is very close to stupidity. Sometimes it's hard to decipher between brevity and stupidity.
Well, but yes, humanity is a funny old thing. A right funny old thing. So anyway, anyone else?
Oh yeah, on a slightly sad note, Prunella Scales has passed away.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, better known as Sybil in Fawlty Towers, one of the highest rated British sitcoms ever with John Cleese.
When was that? I didn't hear anything.
A couple of days ago. I think she died of dementia. She was in her 90s. She had a good innings. She was married to that actor Timothy West, who died a few years previously. But for anyone, I'm sure there's not many, but for anyone who doesn't know Fawlty Towers, I strongly suggest you check it out because it's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
And she was great in it. She was his real kind of battle axe type wife who just always harassed and harangued him.
Yeah.
He was the idiot. He was the real idiot, of course, John Cleese. But she was the perfect kind of wife for him in that situation.
He was really scared of her as well.
He was, yeah.
You would be though, wouldn't you? I mean,
yeah. Basil? Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
Sybil.
But you know, the old ones are going, aren't they? But it was sad. But then I don't know. It's not that sad because we're all going to die one day. And in your 90s, that's a pretty damn good innings, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So bless her. Yeah. Rest in peace. And okay, another one I really like. The Epping Hotel fella, that charming chap.
The guy who got arrested with the guy who sparked off all the riots and got arrested, and then somehow miraculously, mistakenly on purpose, got released.
Yeah.
And then they had to launch a manhunt for him. It's just, I mean, clown world, really.
And now they're giving him a bribe. They're giving him 500 quid.
Yeah, but hang on, it's worse than that because apparently he'd gone 5 times to different police stations, or he'd asked at police stations 5 times to say that he thought he'd been accidentally released, and they told him to go away. I'm pretty sure it was deliberate, and and they didn't want us to know about it. You know.
No, I think they wanted us to know about it, but they did it to wind people up even further.
Oh, is that what you think? Right.
Yeah, right. I do think that, but you could be right as well, 4G, because we're both speculating. But yeah.
No, absolutely. And either way, we both think it's not what they tell us anyway.
No, nothing is, mate. Nothing is anymore.
Yeah, I mean, the official explanation was it was just all... It was a cock-up. It was a mistake. But it seems like it just wasn't one. It was a whole litany of them. And that really does, you have to suspend your disbelief when it gets that bad, you know.
Did you watch Dan Wootton tonight?
No.
Has he been on? He's not been on Rumble. I usually watch him on Rumble. He's not been on this week. I don't know what's going on. Has he been on YouTube?
Really? It's been quite good this week as well, funnily enough.
Shit, I didn't realise. So he's been on YouTube, but for some reason he hasn't been posting on Rumble, which is where I normally watch him. So no, I haven't seen it. I thought he was off.
How interesting. I wonder why he's not doing it on Rumble. That's interesting.
Yeah. So yeah.
Anyway, sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say the same to you. Go on.
On there he had a recording of Muck and Mood. No, I can't think of a good way of reducing her name to anything derogatory.
Oh, the Home Secretary.
Mahmood, laughing and joking about the immigration situation in England. It's a hidden recording from one of their sort of champagne get-togethers, and she's laughing and joking about if it gets any worse, she'd have to get into a lifeboat and drink some what did she say? Drink some rosé and smoke some hash or something. And they all start laughing, basically taking the mickey out of the situation at the moment.
Yeah, of course. Well, we know that they despise us. They know that they're a criminal cabal made out of mafia members. It's a perfect mafia system. If you get into it, boys and girls, good luck. You're going to fill your pockets with gold if you get to be a politician or a bureaucrat or a civil servant. It's wonderful.
I'm noticing the Fabians are coming out in conversation a hell of a lot more as well. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, this is because of the Fabians." I've spoke about the deep state for over 10 years. I've never heard of I hadn't heard of the Fabians, and it's sort of very funny that suddenly everything's the Fabians' fault in this country. I don't know why, but anyway, that seems to have taken.
Well, most of them in this Labour administration are Fabians. That's why.
That's it. Yes, yeah.
But I would question why it's coming out into the public consciousness, because it's being. Is it genuinely being released into the public consciousness, or is it seeping into public consciousness rather, or being released deliberately for some reason. You know,
That's
So-
why it's always hard to decipher what's going on. Yeah.
I know. I've known about Fabians for years. We've spoken about them before, but I lived quite close to the headquarters, which is somewhere off Victoria Street. I can't remember the street.
Old Queen Anne Street or something like that, isn't it?
I think it is definitely around there. It's not. It's not that. It's one of the street. Yeah, it could be the one. But yeah, I used to walk by there every day, taking the kids to the park. And they weren't very well known. They are becoming more known. But is this a deflection from globalism? You know, is it? Are they deflecting from the globalist coup, which is in occurrence, which is happening now?
Well, I mean, I would say they are a facet of it. They are part of it. But like I say, it could be a distraction. And you can guarantee that if there is Fabianism going on here, that is not the top. That they are being, controlled from higher up as well.
Yeah. But they're certainly.
Sorry, go on.
They're certainly globalists, because if you look at the Fabian window, which was, it was lost for a while, I think, and then it was reinstated somewhere else, not in the building. And certain Mr. Anthony Lytton Blair was involved in the reopening of the Fabian window. But it does go George Bernard Shaw, what's a Webb bloke, or Sydney Webb, smashing the smashing the globe with hammers. Which is nice.
Interesting. You don't normally hear the name Blair involved in anything dodgy. That's interesting.
No, I know. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's more often Charles Linton, isn't it? That's the dodgiest one. But no, I mean, I suppose on the whole, it's a good sign that they're being talked about, because they do need to be talked about, and they're certainly part of the sinister goings on which are happening now. Whether it is to shine a light somewhere else, then that's possible, but it's still I think a step in the right direction.
A
stepping stone maybe,
because we don't have transparency. Sorry, for D, go on.
No, sorry, it just popped in my mind. I was going to say, and very good news. I don't know if either of you saw that yesterday evening, out of Australia, I think it was Australia, Bill Gates coming clean and saying he doesn't think that climate change is a problem for the human race anymore. When we talk about things coming to an end, I had a big smile on my face, thinking, so they're stopping that now as well.
Well, do you know why that might be? Is because the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is being investigated.
Yes, indeed.
That's right. Yeah.
So he might as well be trying to cover his ass. But it's still, it's still again a step in the right direction.
Yeah. Who made that bloke king of the world anyway?
Yeah, no kings.
No kings.
It's another one that's going to blow. It's another one that's going to blow a lot of people's minds, because a lot of people have really invested themselves into the idea that we're going to blow ourselves up with carbon, fossil fuels or something. So this might be another wake-up call, like that guy saying, we're on the same side. No, we're not, bruv. There's lots of wake-up calls happening.
Yeah. But we need more. We need action and not words. And if he starts actively, if Bill Gates starts actively campaigning against all the climate nonsense, then okay, fair enough. But he's not going to do that. He just released one statement. Let's see. It might just be him still carrying on as normal, but just saying these things for public consumption.
Talk is cheap. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Talk is cheap, but that's going to have such a knock-on effect. So for instance, I don't know. Keir Starmer couldn't suddenly stand up today and say, we're pledging more money towards thingy, because it would just look stupid after Bill Gates coming out and saying that. So
yeah, that's par for the course for Starmer. He does that anyway. He looks stupid anyway. So
well, yeah.
he can't help it. No, he can't help it. But at least I just think, in some occasions, the British government does the right thing. I think giving relief money to Jamaica, it might, I do hope that does some good, because that country has really suffered, from the storm.
But
and they are basically allies of Great Britain, so they, it's not like but maybe it'll go into the pockets of officials. Who knows?
Of course it will. A large amount of it will. You know that.
Yeah, I do know that. Yeah.
Foreign aid is that's it. It's just a massive money laundering scheme for the most part. Some of it will get through, of course. And yes, I agree with you. Jamaica needs certainly, it's part of the Commonwealth, it certainly needs all the genuine assistance it can get.
I think some Commonwealth countries don't need assistance. I don't see and I don't really like them being in the Commonwealth, like Canada anymore, with Trudeau and the actual the Nazi stuff that's going on there. The hideous.
Pakistan is another one. I don't think that should be in the Commonwealth.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, that's another one.
But yeah,
haven't they just kicked off again with India?
I don't know. No, I think it was with the other side. It wasn't India this time. It was,
was it?
It was right. On the other side that they had a
Bangladesh.
Was it Bangladesh? I don't know.
I don't know. It's always kicking off there, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy. But
but there we go, Royal Britannia and all that. And I noticed that we've just lost, rather tragically, a prince, and I'd like to say, rest in peace, Prince Andrew, who's now no longer a prince.
Yeah, we're not going to shed too many tears for him, I don't think.
I thought you meant he wasn't with us in another way. I was gonna.
No.
I was gonna. What can I say without?
Well, the prince has turned into a frog. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Basically, he's been stripped of his title of prince. He has to move out the Royal Lodge, and it would be wonderful if he worked for a living. We need workers actually in our where I work, so maybe he'll turn up there.
Yeah. I hear McDonald's are hiring.
Yeah.
If it's good enough for Trump, it'll be good enough for him.
Yeah.
No, he'll be all right. He's just from an ultra privileged lifestyle to probably a slightly less privileged lifestyle. I would imagine.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
I thought he did have a job though. I thought he was a footman.
Well, he had a job.
Sorry,
he did work for an American entrepreneur called Mr. Epstein. Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Well, that's still to be resolved. So that actually might destroy him in the end. If we ever get to the bottom of that one.
And actually, have you noticed how many of the old channels are coming back to? I don't know if we mentioned it last week. Coming back to YouTube. I believe I might have talked about Praying Medic last week, but I've noticed True Reporting's come back. Jordan Sather's come back. Red Pill. What's the other one? Anyway, they all seem to be returning to YouTube. I really do think we are in the grand time at the moment. I think why have suddenly all these conspiracy theorists, as they were called, got their channels back all on the same week?
That is a good question. A load of them YouTube have gotten their channels back now. So there might be something going on there. Well, there probably is something going on there. What it is, but YouTube once again is owned by Google. So
yes, and Bill Gates has just said that there's no such thing as climate change. I mean, it's all going a bit. It's all changing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, there are signs, absolutely, definitely signs.
And interestingly, I'll give a call out to Praying Medic. He did a 8-year catch up on the first ever. Am I right in saying it was the October? Oh, it might have been the anniversary of the first ever Q post, and he did what's happened 8 years later, what's going on with the Q thing, and I found it very interesting. If you haven't seen it, Bronze, it's worth a listen if you've got a spare half an hour. But
I definitely will, yeah, because I used to watch Paramedic back in the day, but back in sort of 2018 when Q was posting a lot, and he was one of the ones I went to get the commentary on it. So yeah, I will check that out. That's good because it has just been the anniversary of the 8th year anniversary of Q started posting, wasn't it?
God, it's unbelievable. It's kind of strange to believe that was 8 years ago. It doesn't seem like it's normally nearly a decade ago. God.
So that's on YouTube, is it? That Paramedic?
Yeah,
right,
on YouTube. I think that was yesterday's. It's on yesterday. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll have a look at that.
And I can't remember. You sent me something about 9/11, and I know you said to me, "Oh, did you listen to that thing?" I searched for it, I couldn't find it. So the first thing to say is, could you resend that? But I watched some others from Badlands, and there's some real interesting stuff going on their channel at the moment as well. I think it's that DEFCON 0 that you've mentioned before. That's interesting.
It is. It's I like DEFCON 0. That's one of my favourite ones at the moment. Josh Reed and Alpha Warrior. But yeah, did you see? I did post that to you a few days back and gave you a timestamp because Alpha Warrior used to be a Marine, and he was talking about how he had he served in Iraq, and he was saying I usually have a very good memory. I can remember things really well, but I have periods when I was in Iraq where I just have blank memories. And I immediately thought of you, and that's why I posted it to you and said, check it out.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I haven't had time to listen to that yet. And now that you've said you literally just made my hair go up on end, you bastard. But thank you. That's really interesting.
And he said some of the guys he served with, the same thing as well. They had, that they had just memory blanks for certain periods of time. And he was talking about how they were given these, for a period, they were given these anti-malarial drugs every day. Although he said, I don't think malaria was a really big thing in Iraq, so they told us it was for malaria, but I'm not sure that it was. And also in that episode, they talk a bit about UFOs as well, and Josh Reed has got some interesting stuff on that. So yeah, you might want to check that one out.
Yeah, thanks. Because and actually, because what I'll say is I've said to Bronze and Viv several times that. I was a fit and healthy guy. I went off. I was in the Guinness Book of Records. I'm not saying this to blow my own trumpet, but I was a marathon runner as well. I'm just sort of put in the place of who I was. I also had broke the college record for press ups and sit ups. I was a fit guy. I was skinny as a rake, and I had great power to weight ratio. But before we went to Bosnia, they gave us. We literally went down a corridor and we went in one room, injection, into another room, some tablets, into another room, injection. And I've often said, I think it was somewhere around 10 rooms that we went into. And that was 2 weeks before we were deployed. And it had to be 2 weeks before because they said they wanted to monitor us. And again, at the time, I didn't really realise, but having looked back, the first week of that 2 week period, people were getting beaten up. There was massive fights. Things did seem to be on the edge all the time. And I only bring that up because, as I say, I think those injections, I think the tablets they gave us, they said it was malaria and other things. I think we've just lost someone. But I don't think we needed malaria and all the other things they said. And I do I've spoke to many times. I think they make us angrier. I think they make us. I think they give us stuff to make us better soldiers, whichever way you want to say that. And I went from being a marathon runner in the Guinness Book of Records to having all the conditions I've got today. They thought at one point I went into one doctor's room. I remember I came up crying. Well, I slipped down the wall because he told me I had MS. And I thought, oh shit, how do you go? You know, I was absolutely devastated. And it took about a week for them to come back and go, oh no, it's not MS, it's ankylosing spondylitis. This situation I've got where I've got an abundance of white blood cells and they attack my spine and hip, and so I get an over calcification of my bones. It's almost like it's almost like being a superhero. That I've got this overactive immune system, but it's not really superhuman because unfortunately my super immune system attacks my body. But yeah, so that's why I'm very interested, and I will watch that. That's Bronze has passed on to me because. Oh, and that's what I was going to go on to say. When I went away for 6 weeks to a hospital for when they were going to help soldiers, but and there was a couple of guys that I remember talking about memory loss and it's one of the parts of PTSD. A lot of guys go, oh, I can't remember what happened, and it's what I do a lot, and I do think there is something to do with memory loss. I think. Oh, I don't know. Is it Clockwork Orange shit? I don't know.
Yeah. Increasingly, I'm thinking jabs are pretty bloody bad. All jabs.
Well, see, yeah, my problem is an autoimmune system problem, and with the jabs and with everything, it all seems to be autoimmune system. Like they've worked out how to break into our immune system and kill it off.
Yeah. Modern medicine doesn't want to cure people. It just needs a continual, permanent source of income in the patient.
Yeah.
Are you back, Bronze?
Yeah, sorry, I got cut off. My got this really stupid thing when my screen shuts down, and for some reason it breaks my connection, so I have to log off and log back on. But I'm just looking for that Codex 911, the 911 thing, which I mentioned I was going to post it up. So just bear with me a sec while I find it.
Yeah, cheers.
What was that? What was that I was going to post earlier? I forgot now. We were talking about something. Oh,
wasn't it the public information film or something?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're going to love it. I'll post it up now when I remember. But continue as you were, gentlemen, and I'm still here.
Yeah, I don't know what else
has been going on. I must admit, I've been sent in on the whole. I don't know how to say this but the whole Muslim crisis here and what went on the last couple of days. I've been looking into a lot of channels about that, so I haven't. Normally, I'm floating about looking at all sorts of news. I've been quite one track mindedly the last couple of days. Seen a lot of Tommy stuff. He's still out in Israel, and I'm finding a lot of that stuff interesting because I'm not a Christian, as I've said, but I do believe in the Christian way, and he's talking about Christian stuff that I wouldn't have learned, and I'm finding it quite interesting actually.
Yeah, I haven't been following him so much, but yeah, I mean, definitely the issue with Islam is in America. I've noticed it started to come much more to the fore as well. A lot more people are talking about it over in the US now. It's really starting to sort of come into the public consciousness over there. It seems as well. And it really is a problem. Something needs to be done about it, and it needs to be addressed.
It
really does. What shape or form that would take, I don't know. It's going to be very, very messy, but it does need to be tackled.
Yeah, and this is what worries me when I talk about civil war. I think it's inevitable, and like I said, various TV channels YouTube channels are talking about and actually openly saying we're heading for civil war. And I wonder what even people think when they hear that. Do they realise what that means and what kind of a situation us and to a lesser extent America are in?
It would be awful. That's what it means. It would be awful. It'd be so bad.
I genuinely think that's what's happening. I really do think that's what's going to happen here. I wonder how many people are even, or do they even know how to prep for something like this? You know, I mean, I've been prepped since I left the army, but well, joking aside, yeah, even stuff like that, it's gonna. We're talking about lots of people are talking about a financial crash in the UK at the moment as well. I mean, it could be. I don't want to be a doom and gloomer, but it could be really, really bad here.
Well, this talk of civil
there'll be a sorry, carry on. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say this talk of civil war doesn't seem to be going away. It just seems to keep perpetuating.
Well, they've brought hundreds of thousands of people over now, you know, Bronze. So, like, they're not going to just give up on whatever they had planned for us. They weren't going to just give up on it. And even if they did give up on it, you've got several 100,000 people here of a different culture that have been trapped up in a hotel, have been probably told some bullshit story. Yeah. Whatever happens, it's gonna be bloodshed on the streets. Whatever.
Yeah, people are told that it's. Well, I'm working this out, and I've thought about it for a long time. People have been told, oh, you know, you go to Britain, it's wonderful. Friends of theirs have got there and say, oh, it's bloody great, but then they get here and it's not really that great. It's rainy, it's gloomy. People look at you increasingly with suspicion. You're wandering around the streets, and it's not really that much fun. The women aren't as available as you were told they were. They might dress, be a bit undressed, but that's British women. That's the way they dress. I think that, you know, it's sweet. You know, you see women wandering around the streets having a good time, dressed in its scanty clothing. It's not a sexual thing to us. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's just young girls having a bit of fun. Okay, going to clubs, going to pubs, meeting with their mates. It's not even there to attract men. I mean, a lot of the way women dress nowadays, young women, is really it's peer pressure, and they're dressing for each other. You know, since the advent of girl power and all that, and it's women. You know, yeah, we're as good as the blokes. We're going on a night out, etc. And I think these foreign men get the wrong idea about this. They come over here and it's not that great. And it builds up that, hang on, whoa, I've just spent a load of money. Because let's not forget, these aren't poor people. There aren't poor people who are coming here. You pay an awful lot to get a seat on a boat. You pay it to a smuggler. And then, you know, the British government obviously are people smugglers as well. So they're involved in criminality, but they are criminals, so why wouldn't they be? And they arrive here and they're being exploited in a sense. And if any of them got any nous, they would understand this. You know, I don't mean the ones that come in here to join established networks. I mean young men, like adventurers. I'm beginning to think that a number of the people that do this are coming over. Young men are doing this for an adventure. You know, like this guy said. This guy, when he got caught, sort of being a bit of a pedo, yeah, in Epping, right? And then he got caught and he said, oh, I just want to be deported. Get me out of here. It's not exactly like he's fleeing for his life, is he?
I mean, I wonder how many of them are just an adventure. But I get what you're saying. I genuinely, I've got the worst mindset because I think they're all here, or the majority have been brought here to start a civil uprising.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But if that's the case, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for integration, is it? Really, when an Afghan guy and people just goes on a mad stabbing spree, of course he'll be called mental. Yeah.
And everybody all of the usual suspects will jump to his defense and try and paint him as the victim. To try and sway public opinion.
But the geezer's just stabbed to death a bin man and a couple of dog walkers, and completely harmless folk, really.
It's it's just crazy.
Anyway, is it time for Viv's bookshelf? I think it might be. What have you been reading, Viv?
Has anyone heard of Wetiko?
Wetiko?
Yeah.
Well, sorry, say that again.
Wetiko, Wetiko.
No.
I bought a book called Dispelling Wetiko by a bloke called Paul Levy. Wetiko's an Algonquin word. That's a North American tribe. And it's a word for a cannibalistic spirit, which basically is the embodiment of greed, excess, consumption, psychopathy, and the cannibalization, the vampirization of other people's life force. It's called a mind virus, psychospiritual disease. It drives selfish, destructive behavior, othering of individuals and groups, and it's as I say, a Native American group. Well, this book is I'm reading. I'm beginning to think, what the actual hell? It's the spirit of destruction, psychopathy. It's freaky. It's really quite freaky. Don't know what to make of it at the moment. It's also called, if it's anyone's read books, it's also called Wendigo. It's conceptualized as a creature, but the book says it's a state of mind. It's a state of mind. It's a mind virus.
Well, I am a
problem within yourself.
Okay. I mean, I do kind of relate to the whole thing about people being vampires, but not in the in the kind of the horror film sense, but in terms of energy.
Yeah.
Some people you're with and they just drain your energy, and I've really kind of met quite a few of those people, and so they're just not nice to be with because they just wear you out. You don't have to do anything. Just being with them wears you out. So I'm kind of, I think that's a real thing, but
the book is all about that. It's all about that. It starts off with this fella's dreams of lying in bed with Dracula. He's dreaming. He looks over and Dracula's in the bed, which is kind of freaky. But then, and then realizing, and they're getting scared and waking up. But then gradually, he's realizing that the dream and his dream life and his reality life are joined together. So the dream and the reality are either both dreams or both realities, but kind of met in the middle. So our life is a bit of a dream, and our dream is a bit of a life.
Well, I used to have a friend who was who had a very active subconscious, shall we say, and during a period of his life, he went through this time when he was having such vivid dreams that he said that his dreams were more real than his waking life. They were that powerful.
Yeah.
And I mean, he used to tell me about some of his dreams, and some of them were quite heavy. But but he was, I mean, psychologically, he was really suffering because he would wake up and it was almost like his waking life wasn't real life, but his dreams were.
Yeah. It's a Buddhist idea as well, isn't it? I believe. Yeah.
And mine's the opposite, where I haven't had a dream since they took me away to this hospital for my PTSD help, apparently. Since whatever they did to us in there, I've not dreamt, and that was 2012. Yeah. And I used to have the most horrific nightmares, real, as your friend said, more lifelike than my waking day, which was scary for me. But I just don't dream, which always worries me. Why don't I dream?
Well, if you smoke weed, you tend not to remember your dreams more. But
that will be my main problem, probably.
that is an aspect. I mean, because I used to smoke all the time, and I didn't dream very much, but I did occasionally dream. So it doesn't completely shut them out altogether.
I don't know what to say, really. I don't know.
I was going to say, I think I only remember about 3 dreams in the last 12 years, but I do know that you can dream and not remember them. But I just worry that I'm not dreaming and I've been, taken out of some kind of, I don't know.
Well, they say that we do dream. We dream every night. It's just that we don't always remember them. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, the dreams are meant to be your brain releasing sort of unfulfilled thoughts or anxieties that build up during the day. So it's kind of like a safety release, a release valve, to release. So it's really necessary. That's why why they use sleep deprivation in torture, because if you go without sleep, you start hallucinating. If you go long enough without sleep, and that is basically your brain dreaming while you're awake because you're not sleeping, so it has to release it anyway.
Yeah.
And I think smoking weed kind of puts you in that state anyway. To a certain extent, it puts you into a kind of a dreamlike state. So maybe that's why you don't really remember dreams if you smoke weed when you sleep, because just through the act of being stoned, it kind of it releases that anyway,
No, several people have said that to me actually. Yeah.
Well, I smoke weed and I have vivid dreams. So I don't know. Really.
Each to their own. Obviously, it's not the same for everyone.
No, of course.
But yeah.
But Wetico, it's an odd one. It's a very odd one.
Where I'm just wondering where you found where you discovered that book, Viv. Where you kind of thought, oh yeah, that's a book I want to read. I'll get that.
Yeah, I heard it. Ben Rubin was giving a talk for UK Column. They were doing a festival somewhere, so I listened to his talk and I posted it up. It's on my Substack. And so I was listening to his talk, and he mentioned Wetico, and I had heard of it. I thought, Wetico, right. So it manifests destructive behavior. It fuels destructive actions such as war, destruction of nature, exploitation of others, self-deception, deludes the host, because it's a virus, a mind virus, into believing that selfish consumption and destruction are completely logical and justified. And it's the root of global problems. War, driven by greed, power, control.
So it's a psychological state, yeah? It's a psychological condition.
It's ontological, which means that it exists. It's not logical. It's ontological. So ontology means what exists or what doesn't exist. So it exists.
But not everybody suffers from it, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Excuse me while I go and blow up the world. I'll be right back.
Yeah, well, because we have the potential. And because we don't recognize it, like in the Christian tradition, it would be called possession, perhaps. But because the condition of you doing evil is within everyone. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
That's what it means, basically. Look, most people won't do that, but the condition is there. But they will also accept evil, which is also Wetico. So you accept something that's evil, and you just think, "Oh, that's just the way it is."
So it's kind of psychopathic in a way, and it's just a facet of humanity. It's just an aspect of.
No, it's ontological. According to Native American tradition, it's ontological. In other words, it's an entity, it exists. It's a cannibalistic spirit, an evil spirit, like a vampire.
Like a demon, right?
Like a demon or a vampire.
You could explain the same with depression. All of us can be depressed. Only some of us suffer with depression. But when you do suffer with depression, you tend to make your life worse because you then take on a group of ideas that you are not good enough or something is good enough, and so therefore you bring your own you almost bring your own depression into your depressed world.
It's a downward spiral.
Where to
Yeah,
go?
they
Where,
often say
where to
happy
goes?
people look.
Where to goes the opposite. You think you're brilliant. You think you're great.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, but
So
I suppose all we're doing there is we're saying that your state of mind can manifest an actuality.
yes,
absolutely, it can. Yeah, I believe that.
yep.
Yeah,
That's it.
I do believe it as well, and it's the lady that sees me once a week, and bless her, she'll be listening to this, so she can have a giggle to herself, I suppose. But that's what I've been trying to get. It's what I've been working on for the last blooming 8 years of how to get rid of depression, and I understand the concept that I'm feeding my own animal, as it were. But it's so much. Well, it's easier to say than to do. This manifestation of what we do to our brain is so well, it's so powerful. I don't know what word to use, but
it's really hard to define. I think if you're suffering from that, and you kind of say, right, I've got to stop thinking these type of thoughts, but it's really hard to kind of pin it down and isolate them and notice them when they're happening as well.
I've often said it's the concept of when you say don't think of the number 7, all you're going to do is think of the number 7.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, so if you are a depressed person, you're going to go to negative vibes. If you're a positive person, you're going to go to positive vibes. Are we able to manifest a change in our own
yes.
I'm sure we can.
Well, I mean, our brain in that sense is programmable. We can program ourselves, but it takes a lot of effort and a lot of time and a lot of discipline. That's the problem. You can't just sort of spend half an hour with someone and say, okay, great, now I know what to do, and then not worry about it anymore, because you've got to be constant with the whole application of it.
Well, absolutely, but I also think a lot is like, for instance, it depends what computer you're working with. I.e., if you have a really good childhood and you're flooded with lots of different ideas and you'll have a functioning computer on your head that will be able to navigate things easier. But I do think, and I'm not trying to give people a get out of jail free card, but I think if you've had a traumatic childhood, i.e., your computer is a bog standard computer, let's call it, emotionally, that's when it's very, very difficult, if not close to impossible, to change those negative or vampiristic as Viv was pointing out with the other one, those kind of views. If you have them there from your young computer, your young mind, I wonder if you can take it away.
Well, I'm sure it's possible, but it's just much, much harder to do. It's like when you're a child, it's like that is when your computer, if you like, is being programmed. That's when your operating system is actually being programmed. Yeah. And if it's being programmed badly with lots of bugs in it, then as you grow older, everything, just all your experiences and your memories and everything layers on top of that. It's like building a house on bad foundations. And if you want to fix the house, you've got to knock it down, right back down to the foundations, and rebuild the foundations. And the older we get in life, the more stuff we've built on top of that, those bad foundations. So it's much harder to get back to it and fix it, because we've got to unravel all of that stuff on top of it first.
Yeah. As it says in the New Testament, you build your house. If you build a house on sand, it will sink. You have to. So, if your house is built on sand, on unstable ground, your houses will sink. It's better to build it on rocky ground, or if it's not built on rocky ground, relocate. If I can say this about, Where to Go, it does chime with something that I thought for many years about the fascination I've got with the vampire myth. For a vampire to wreak their havoc, you have to invite them into your house.
Yes, yeah. But it's kind of like the deep state. They have to tell you what they're doing, apparently,
Yeah,
and you have to consent to it, and
And
they
you have to consent. Yeah.
That's right. So Wetiko is about accepting. It is about blocking the vampire, is not inviting them into your house, because you're going to invite destruction, misery. You're going to invite something as well, like possession, demonic possession, which you may or not believe in, but I believe possession is real. That you become superhuman almost. I mean, going back to what we were talking about a few episodes ago, about the Book of Enoch. If these creatures, if this is true, if it's historical, and these creatures are still amongst us, then that might explain the power dynamics in politics, in business. That basically the descendants of these fallen angels are now still here in positions of power. That piece I posted on our chat, I recommend you read that. It's very weird. It's very dark.
I haven't read that. I will. I was meaning to have a look at that, which I will do.
And it's about Nephilim basically.
While we're on the subject of books, because it's time's pushing on, gents. Just to before we move off the subject of books, I started reading one of those other books you lent me, Viv, Weird Scenes Inside the Canyon by David McGowan.
Yeah,
very very interesting. I'm only about 30 pages in so far, but wow.
Yeah.
it's definitely a page turner. It's really,
isn't it? Yeah,
about the Laurel Canyon hippie scene in the 60s and 70s, and all of that. How almost all the major players were connected to the military-industrial complex. And just the amount of deaths, the amount of people who died, it's incredible. I mean, like I said, I haven't really got into the main body of the book yet. It's like, this is really interesting.
Highly recommended. I hope someone has made a documentary on that.
I'm sure you can find something on. Yeah, I'm sure you can find something online about it. You must. But a lot of names connected in there.
I mean, I disagree with quite certain area, not a lot of it, but some areas of it, because I have seen. He's going, the Doors never played their instruments. Hang on, I've seen footage of the Doors playing. So, I mean, maybe Jim Morrison now, this is a different matter. That's a very odd one. But the Doors do seem to play, and I've seen them playing after Jim Morrison died as well. Manzarek and all those people. So, I don't know. There is a really good true conspiracy theory, though, about that scene. Which he does mention, a group called the Wrecking Crew, who played on all the records we love from that era. They were, because the musicians, some of them were so wasted. It was, they're forming bands because they look good. They're forming bands because it's, hey man, let's do our thing. But they couldn't play. I mean, only punk, which came along, 50 years later, was honest enough to say, we can't play our instruments, but damn it all, we're going to form a band. So they got this band called the Wrecking Crew. They're expert crack session musicians, and they played things like Wichita Lineman, Glenn Campbell. They played on the Byrds. They played on Beach Boys.
They played on so many records that people are not even aware of. But most of the stuff that it would have been the Wrecking Crew. It's like, this is probably the musicians who you've heard the most, who you've never heard of, in a way.
Yeah, exactly. You know about them, don't you? Yeah.
But so just wanted to chuck that one in there. Yeah, very interesting. So I'm looking forward to getting through that book. But yes, I do agree with you. I mean, already there's certain things that he's putting forward. I'm kind of thinking, no, I'm not sure about that, but it's really interesting anyway.
Oh well, we use our judgment, don't we?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's 10 o'clock, guys. So has anybody got anything more to add about Spike Milligan?
Bless him.
Bless him. Yeah, he told us he was ill.
Yeah.
If not, maybe.
Not really.
Yeah, me neither. So maybe whoever it is, whose turn it is next, wants to think of the next one. I don't know whose turn it is. 4D, is it your turn?
No, I was going to say I think it's Viv's, but if it's I don't know. I never know what's.
It's your turn. I don't know, but I think it's 4D, isn't it? Who did we have before Spike Milligan?
John Le Mesurier, wasn't, and that was yours, Viv, wasn't it?
Oh,
yeah,
of course it was.
yeah. Hattie Jakes. We had John
Hattie
Le Mesurier, or
Mesurier.
that one, that whole Nexus. Yeah.
Look, 4D, the spotlight is on you. So I don't know. Maybe you want to just think of one for next week.
I will do. Yeah.
All right, cool.
And it's quite a lucky thing because time was getting on anyway. So and I've got to be honest, as I said, I was at the dentist today. I've had 2 fillings. I was ready to go off about an hour ago, if I'm honest. But so if you've got a couple of jokes, I'm gonna I'll probably like to clear it up in a minute. Yeah.
Sure, I've got to nip out to the shop before it shuts anyway. So I've got a couple of jokes just to round things off, just to kill the entire conversation as I normally do. Here you go. I have reduced my daily wine consumption to just 1 glass before bed. Last night I went to bed 10 times.
Yeah.
Hey.
That reminds me, we sorry for butting in very quickly. We used to say in the military that we had a drinking problem. 2 hands and only 1 mouth.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, I get drunk, I fall over, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay. How many Keir Starmer supporters does it take to change a light bulb?
Go on.
None. Starmer says he already did it, and they all stand there clapping in the dark.
Hey.
Very poetic. Yeah.
Here you go. To the person who stole my Microsoft Office account, I will find you. You have my word.
Oh, no, that's good. That's good. They'll all be good. That's why I haven't been involved, you see.
Oh, I see.
Right, yeah, okay.
I had my last £5 in my pocket today, and I walked up to a homeless dude. Just as I got close to the homeless dude, I noticed he had a sign that said, homeless, one day this could be you, please help. So I took the £5, put it back in my pocket, because you never know, he could be right.
Charity begins at home, as they say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Scientists are trying to cross a cheetah and a crab. They're trying to cross the cheetah and crab genes together, which I think is a really bad move. It sounds like the sort of thing that can go sideways really fast.
Like it.
I love it. I do love a dressed crab though for tea. But anyway,
lovely, yeah. A bit of seafood.
Oh, I'm on a seafood diet, and I won't tell you the punchline.
I know the punchline. Yeah, you seafood, you eat it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I spoiled that one for you.
No, you didn't. Because some of our North American listeners may not know that element of British humour, because it's so common, that one, isn't it? Bloody hell! Everyone says that.
Yeah, it is indeed. So yeah, that's. I've got a few other jokes, but they're not really that good, so I won't lower the tone anymore.
What your other ones were good, were they?
I said the ones I've got remaining weren't that good.
Oh, touche. Touche, 40.
Yeah, ouch. That's fighting talk.
Hey. All right, mateys.
Yeah.
I haven't tortured you with my jokes, so that's something to be grateful for, I suppose, isn't it?
You've left that honor entirely up to me. For
yeah.
So yeah, all right. Well, it's a good one this week, guys. Enjoyed that.
Yeah, very good. All the best, and next Thursday.
Yes, I guess so.
Until next Thursday, indeed. Yeah, indeed. Take it easy.
And have a look at those. I'm going to post a couple of my favourite public domain information films. So,
Oh, do so?
Yeah.
I've posted up that 9/11 documentary as well. If you want to look at that. It's a couple of hours, but it's worth it. It's good.
Right,
Oh, thanks. I think I'll start on the other one that you said about before, and then I'll do that one. But yes, yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks very much.
Yeah. All right. Until next time.
Cheers. All the best.
Yeah. What episode is it today? Is it 39?
Let's have a look. I'll tell you in a minute.
I want to say 38, but
38. Yeah.
Is it?
It's
It was 37 last week, was it?
It was indeed, yeah.
Oh, okay, fine.
Oh,
So,
okay, cool.
let's go then.